What, yo, welcome
To the barber shop.
Yo, welcome
To the barber shop.
Barbershop Podcast. I got to go to you, Ryan Cannon. Episode 204. We had a glitch. We had a good technical problem.
Are we
couldn't
calling
get a
this
show out.
204?
No, like last week didn't happen. So
it's 203?
this is 203,
We
I
were
believe.
just wondering that,
yeah.
too.
It's officially episode number 203 of Barbershop Podcast.
On week 204.
On week 204, but we've had a couple. It happens. It doesn't always happen pretty or like you expect it to. I'm just putting up a post right now on our Barbershop Podcast.
But like all problems, we threw a bunch of money at it and it fixed itself.
It does help. It's money is the grease,
Yeah.
and it was a greasy situation. Very greasy, Ryan Cannon. Had a couple tough nights slogging it out in the control room. I'm curious, just for the while I make this post of tonight's guest for our fans of Barbershop Podcast, telling them where they can check us out on Twitch TV. Tell them in purely technical terms what you've been doing for the last 3 hours.
What I've been doing in purely technical terms?
Purely, like if you like you're talking to the tech services at Avid or whoever, like the people.
Wow.
What did you do?
I had a full head of hair when we started tonight.
You love bands,
I
don't
pulled
you?
all my hair out. I ran cables, then I unplugged them, then I plugged them back in, then I unplugged them again, and rinse and repeat.
You gotta love it. I think you kind of love stress, though. I think you eat stress for breakfast.
Sure.
Yeah,
But hey, here we are, and everything sounds amazing.
it
so-
does. I'm really happy. The computer's up and running.
Yeah.
I feel bad
Last
for
week
Alex
was-
McCullough because
Yeah,
she was really good.
Total catastrophic failure
She
last
was
week.
super
Yeah.
quality good, and
She'll be back.
Yeah, she definitely will be back.
I hope we didn't.
But
annoy
it
her
was a
too much.
singer-songwriter, and you like that whole deal with one guitar, one voice. And sometimes when there's a band in here, and I know you want to have quality product going out the door, and it's never the same way, right? You have to kind of fine-tune it every week.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was only 2.5 hours today.
Only 2.5 hours. So keep in mind, for everyone who enjoys Barbershop Podcast, a lot of work put in here every week, a lot of work by the bands who come in, share their story. I'm doing it right now. This is streaming on Twitch TV. That's www.twitch.tv.
I thought that was a Gary job.
Yeah. Podcast Barber.
Yeah. Hey, we never claim to be overly professional here.
No, just
No.
just professional
You guys,
enough.
everybody can wait until we take care of our social media business.
I couldn't be bothered to put the word now in.
No.
It's like Judi Rideout and the ex-husband's right. And then, yeah. Now it's right now. Though.
They're right. Yeah.
They are right. They're right for us. Right for us.
Grammatically
Tonight's
correct.
guest. Fantastico group of Hamilton and area performers coming in, playing and talking music. Something we are big believers in here at Barbershop Podcast. There's incredible music everywhere. Anyone who thinks there's no good new music out there has not done their homework, didn't dig enough. You got to get out there and look for it, and your particular fancy will be scratched or tickled, depending on what you like. And every week there's something different at Barbershop Podcast. It is real, live, original music. It answers the questions, who are you and why do I care? So we've got 7 or 8 live and recorded tunes every week, and a story of people and persons who have made a life in music, and especially around this place of Hamilton, Ontario, which we call the blast furnace of live original music. Tonight's guest, thank you so much for coming in. We have Judi Rideout. It's not her because you are like the ex-husbands, I guess. I'm going to introduce them left to right. On harp, one of Hamilton's favorite sons, Sam DeRosa. Mark Foley, guitar player extraordinaire, and Justine Fisher on the bass, Justine the bass machine, and Tom Wells on drum. You've been here before. This is not your first rodeo. It's your first time though in the studio.
Thanks for having us.
I love that you finally made it in. Are you a North Shore girl? It seems to me that the people you hung out with, are you from what county do you hail from right now?
I live in Burlington right now.
In Burlington right now. And tell me about cutting your teeth in the early days. What was your path to music?
I took piano lessons when I was a kid, and then I started playing guitar, and then I really started playing live when I started playing bass. And I played bass for about 10 or 15 years. And that was when I lived out in Port Dover area in Norfolk County.
Right. And there's a vibrant community, but you have to hustle a little bit more, and you got to take yourself a little bit further to find the gigs and find the people you share that passion with, right?
That's true. Yeah. You got to drive to the gigs.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a ways.
I've had so many great characters from North Shore of Lake Erie who've come in here all along, you know. It's got a certain...
I used to drive to Elmer every Friday night.
Yeah. What was the hot place to play in Elmer?
I think it was called the Central Hotel.
Oh, gotta love it. Not too prestigious. So the brand of music that you're playing now, people ask all the time, what do you do? What do you call it? It's and I always refer to it, there's this area kind of roots in general, but it's a medium pace flow kind of singer-songwriter with an edge. I don't even know. It's hard for me to put my finger on it. If you kind of made it yourself,
it is hard to put it
down and try to define kind of what your sound is about.
Yeah, I agree. It is hard to put my finger on what to call it exactly. I say roots a lot or Americana. Yeah.
But do you write the same way, or do you find that you, depending on the company you're with or who you're with, when you write, how you write?
It just sort of comes out of nowhere to me, you know. Yeah, it's wake up sometimes and just got to write that one down.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you got enough of them to write down to put together a really cool record, and you've released it, and you're out playing it. And for all of you who are interested in what you hear and see tonight, you'll be able to get a hold of this record, and we'll tell you about it. And there'll be links to it and all of the original artists on Barbershop Podcast. But we're about live music because we think that is the sustenance. That is the thing that makes someone committed to music and see it more than background music and noise, something that's a life force. I think you have to go there and experience it. Live music, feel the music flow through you. We do the best we can to bring it to you in your living room or your bedroom, or wherever you are. You could be in a tent up north in this day and age.
He's looking at you, Tom.
But we're going to start with a live tune. What are you going to do for us first tonight?
This one is called My Favorite Song.
Is there anything you want to tell us about it, or is it?
Not for this one. Thank you very much.
I like those. I like those ones the best. All right, you're going to hear it right here, right now on BarbershopPodcast.com.
Taste the blood on my lips. I tried to wipe it clean with my fingertips. Nobody heard me say goodbye. I changed the locks one more time. You washed your hands of the mess you made. You spin your story, you shift the blame. The whiskey flows in your downtown room. You were popping the red, should have stuck with the blues. What went wrong? And I've forgotten all my favorite songs. I packed up your guitar and your clothes. You can take the car, I'll get my own. I can't remember what went wrong. Dish out the dirt you turned on a dime for just a pipe full of grass to keep you high. And with your knife you sure cut clean. Now there's a hole where my heart should be. What went wrong? Did you ever have a favorite song? I packed up your guitar and all your clothes. You can take the car, I'll get my own. I can't remember what went wrong. I've forgotten all your favorite songs. I can't remember what went wrong.
Real music, real good. Real people at barbershoppodcast.com. That sounded fantastico, I have to say. There's a certain swing and a feel to music. How do you put music in your categories of things you have to do versus things you like to do? Is it a life kind of force for you, or do you kind of drop in and out of it?
Yeah, no, I can't help myself. I wish I could. Yeah. But I can't stop. Yeah. It's like a disease.
If there have been, it's true, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it's always I think all of us have kind of a risk-reward kind of thing going, and I find that the people involved in the business are kind of great people, right? And even if they're
awesome,
yeah, it's like they can be like different people, but like what they have in common is so much more than whatever difference exists.
It's true,
and
yeah.
It's like a great group of people to surround yourself with, where you people know the secret handshake, and it's got nothing to do with musicality. There's sort of I guess a real naked trust that happens when you play music with somebody. And I've often said when you've jammed with somebody and you can play something, people are amazed that they can't believe you've never heard something before. Or in fact, you can call a few people and say, hey, I've got a gig on Thursday, can you come? And they can hear it once or twice and sound like they wrote it with you, right?
So true.
I'm going to ask you, Mark, you played with tons and tons of people. So when there's a songwriter you play with, do you look for that when, as far as like, I want to play off the vocal lines and I want to contribute to what's being done?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the song always comes first.
So what do you think as far as when you work with people, are you able to kind of take it apart and know what you like and what you don't like, or are you just kind of
I try not to think about it too much.
Yeah.
I find my mind gets in the way of what I want to do too often.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's a wonderful balance, right? And I think, as far as and you've been playing drums a long time, Tom.
I have, yeah.
As far as it's always been said, a good drummer can make a good band great. It's like as far as working the groove and the things that are, and I guess in a case like this, it's a real less is more sort of thing that comes with maturity. You have to have been around a bit to know how to play it clean and lean like that, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it's what you leave out that's important, right?
Yeah.
Not so much what you put in. Yeah.
Yeah. because people are going to hang on. I said I love songwriting, and songwriting comes in. It's not just a little blonde on a stool. You know, it could be a heavy metal band, or it could be a punk band, or like these are songwriters. Songwriter getting the message that's getting, you know, the kind of communication going that is otherwise never going to happen with a whole group of people. It's so important how important songwriting is in the big picture. And do you feel that kind of responsibility? You write little ditties about yourself, but you try to have them about the rest of the world, or do you draw the inspiration from the news? Or
I don't know if I try, but I think once it happens, I can feel that's what's happened.
Yeah.
You know, it maybe starts out about myself, but then once I'm done, I sort of let it go, and it becomes its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always amazing as you get older, you realize how few words, like the weight of the word, how important the weight of the word is, because when you count out in a great song, sometimes there's 15 or 20 words in a whole damn song, and you can't believe it until you realize that there's a lot of weight in what you write, right?
It's so true, yeah. And even over time, I've had, you know, songs mean one thing to me even, and then you know, you keep playing it for 10 years and then it changes. That's because wonderful. Your life changes and it means a different thing to you.
That's great.
And yeah.
When it actually happens to the songwriter, you know, and God bless the songwriter. And we're going to talk about this CD that you have out, self-titled. What is...
Actually, there is a title on it.
I know, but I'm really old and blind, and there's no lighting, there's no lighting here. So
Want me to tell you? It's called Ex-Husband.
Ex-Husband. Having been at a couple of times, I understand and feel it.
Yeah.
Highway 88, tell us about that first track we're going to play.
Highway 88 is it's a true story. It's a lot of those songs are written by husband number two, my husband number two, and I would say I wrote this Highway 88, but he came back in some year and we spoke, and he's a truck driver as well as a musician, and I think it had a lot to do with him coming back.
Cool.
And then he left again.
But you got a song out of it.
I got a song out of it.
That's a win-win situation right here, right now, barbershoppodcast.com.
Got me high like a star on the rural route, and I was getting loose in the backseat bunk with you while I bite my lip. I hold my breath and close my eyes, I let my backbone slip. You were gone without goodbye on a highway 88 to drive through the miles of the night. I thought you left us all behind just to dodge that 9 to 5. So is it true? Did you turn that sucker around, broken down and blue? Why'd you pull your big truck back here into town? Well, I saw you standing alone in a parking lot. You checked your phone, then you tucked it deep inside your coat. Well, I tried to be good, but you know me, I just can't stop. You've always got me right where true? Did you turn that sucker around, broken down and blue? Why'd you pull your big truck back here into town? Makeup and tears, they're crude and tender on my cheek, with the sirens wailing. They're closing in on down my street. Did you call the cops to fill me with desire? I had electric love just to watch those flames catch on fire on a highway 88. Drive through the miles of the night. I thought you left us all behind just to dodge that 9 to 5. So is it true? Did you turn that sucker around, broken down and blue? Why'd you pull your big truck back here into town?
That's Highway 88 off of the Ex-Husband CD, Judi Rideout. You got to get it. The link will be on the End of Barbershop podcast, where you can catch every week streaming live on Twitch TV at www.twitch. Is that a slash or a backslash, Ryan Cannon? Like, can we get a...
It's neither. It's a dot.
It's a dot?
Twitch.tv.
And then is that a slash?
Yeah. Whatever it is in every other internet address ever created ever. So
Podcast Barber at Podcast Barber being our Twitter handle. We're on Facebook. You can find us on the internet. If you like it, share it. If you share it, then we all win. Original music should be shared, and you should go check it out. Judi Rideout is tonight's guest. Want to tell you guys, sounded so good tonight. The CD is sounding good. Tell me about playing music for, and we won't say how many years, what's been like the biggest change as far as when you were starting and the people you looked at, and then like kind of overnight you realize you're there. What do you, in order to have a longevity, you know, a certain amount of patience and tolerance for what it can be a very thankless and penniless business, what's your kind of lesson about someone starting out right now? What should they heed to in the music business?
Wow. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I think it's so movable right now. It's just, it changes daily. I mean, I think we're just in a brave new world for the whole business, and it just, who knows?
Yeah.
Blue pill, red pill.
Yeah, it basically comes down to it that you make a decision for yourself, and hopefully other people will, you know, pick up on what you're doing. Music comes from the heart, and a lot of people say you can't think too much. You know, you say yourself, you have to play it. It has to flow out of you. What is your style? It's kind of what it becomes. And
absolutely, yeah. I know we've invented places to play, and you know,
yeah.
I mean, we used to go around and just set up, say, "Hey, do you want a band?"
Yeah.
And then get a gig out of the deal. And actually, that's how we got that one in Elmer. We're just driving around, and so I mean, you never know. you never know how you're going to get a gig.
It's true. And,
Yeah.
and you have to be that way. I always liked it because I was scattered. I like doing the 10 different jobs. But you have to know that you're going to do 10 different jobs when you're going to do music. You're going to be a promoter. You're going to be a salesman. You're going to be you're going to be everything. Like it's worth it, though. It's a lot of fun. All right. Do another live tune for us. What are you going to do next in the live?
I'm going to do a song called Abilene. And my daughter's name is Dale, after Dale Evans. And Abilene is her middle name. And husband number 2 and I sang a song, Abilene, by George Hamilton IV. And so we sang it for a long time. And then that's why we named our daughter with the middle name of Abilene. And on her 5th birthday, things were a little sketch, husband number 2 and I, and that's how this song came to be.
Okay.
How's that?
That's the grist for the mill. That's it. Loads it up, right? That's the grist for the mill. And now you get to hear the heart-rendered truth and the beauty that is a live original song that came from this woman's heart. Right here, Abilene, barbershoppodcast.com.
She's 5 today, our baby girl's birthday. Have I got the right address for you? 25 Main, apartment 2. She learned all her ABCs. She doesn't watch too much TV. They raised the rent, so we had to move. Your brother had an extra room. Maybe one day you could take us to Texas. I hear the folks down there, they don't treat you mean. You could take us to the town where it all begins. That old song you used to sing to me. Abilene, 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 Abilene. She minds her manners, knows right from wrong. She learned so much since you've been gone. I kiss her twice before she goes to sleep. It's one from you and one from me. That judge sure put you down, telling you not to come around. But if you're driving down our county road, I hope you know you're always welcome home. Maybe one day you could take us to Texas. I hear the folks down there, they don't treat you mean. the town where it all began. From that old song you used to sing to me, Abilene, 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 Abilene.
Lovely. Abilene. It is another great song from Judi Rideout. It's something you're going to want to check out. And Barbershop Podcast is absolutely pleased to bring it to you. I'm looking for the copy. Find copy. I don't know. Maybe I can do it off the top of my head. Do you think I could do after 200 weeks?
I was just saying. I hope you can. I would hope you could do this off the top of your head by now.
So why don't we roll our commercial from our great friends at Hamilton Artists. I think I forgot to bring the shirt down that I was going to bring. But we got some new T-shirts. They do T-shirts. They print stuff. They print anything on anything. That's what they do. If you want something printed, if you want your logo, your message, your band name, your school, your team put on your dart league, your pool league, a coaster, a keychain, a T-shirt, a sweatshirt, a hat, a hoodie. If you need some sort of forum in which to plaster your presence in the world, they are the people to do it. They print anything on anything. They do vinyl wraps. I've seen them do like doors and cars and buildings. They've got laser etching, so you can like write on your guitar or on a piece of stone. You can laser etch an image in. They are creative people, and they are friends of the show. You can find them at 627. Was that even close? Probably. It's right by Big Brothers in Hamilton, between right around Sanford.
It is 627.
Oh yeah, scored.
Right.
627 Unit 1 right there, on the ground floor. It is a beautiful piece of real estate, a nice chunk of floor space where you can see all of the products, and go check them out. You can set up an account online. You can see out what they can do online, or you can go see them in person. HamiltonArtists.ca. Follow their link and follow them on all their social media sites. They're heavily involved in promoting live music in Hamilton and surrounding areas, and that's why we love them so much. HamiltonArtists.ca. All right, that was kind of segue-ish. I got out of that. Judi Rideout is here, and we just did a live tune, which means we're going back to the record. And we always talk about this like a baby. Was it okay pregnancy, like making this?
It was
and
okay, yeah. It was
it
really
didn't come out
pretty...
sideways.
No,
okay,
it
good.
was-
Quick and painless.
Yeah.
Everyone was happy.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, we did it at Porcelain there, and it was Justine was there and Mark was there, and it was really easy.
All right, good to hear. The next one is, what are we going to play next?
Steve Vegas, too.
Steve,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
He is a
With
great,
that Steve Vegas' talent.
love the man.
Yes.
Also love Saskatchewan ghost towns. It's like spooky imagery, but it's any, northern ghost town where you go in and you drive for a spell and you see they exist all over this
Sure do.
country.
Yeah.
And you walk through them, and people and lives, things happen that don't happen anymore, and the architecture does, and it's quite haunting. Tell me about this particular song.
This one was written by Keith Shaw, who is husband number 2, and we sort of added a bridge to it and changed it around a little bit. But what the bridge that we added was from a real band that existed in Saskatchewan, and they were called the Bounty Bluebirds. And so I had to get that in once I saw that, because what year were they? It was
Oh, in the 20s, they were like in the jazz age. There was like
at a dance hall.
Fully legitimized.
well, Bounty, Alberta was where like Al Capone, like Chicago mobsters would come up there and hang out.
It's crazy. In Fort Erie, you remember when we'd go along the beaches and there would be the foundations for the dance halls and the things would be in the 20s and 30s, and the gangster in Crystal Beach and Fort Erie and the Americans who would come over who own the cottages and the lands in Canada, and they own the beach and they owned actually into the water. And it was like, and the uncles would talk in hushed terms about about those days.
Yeah.
This is a nice piece of music. All right, you're going to hear it right now. Saskatchewan Ghost Towns, right here, barbershoppodcast.com.
Well, I don't have a reason, but I like ghost towns. It don't matter the season, flash flood rain coming down. And I wish you'd come here just to look around. Population is one in this ghost town. Well, I like ghost towns. Turns took me off the highway, and I know you got burned and you're gonna make me pay. Still I wish you'd come here just to look around. Population is one in this ghost town. Well, I like ghost towns. From back home said he's got room. He could drive you up and be back by the full moon. And I wish you'd come here just to look around. Population is one in this ghost town. Well, I like ghost towns. Not forgotten. The bounty bluebirds still play. Well, I don't have a reason, but I like ghost towns. And I haven't been sleeping, my bed is too big now. And I wish you'd come here just to look around. Population is one in this ghost town. Well, I like ghost towns. Saskatchewan ghost towns. Saskatchewan ghost towns. Saskatchewan ghost towns.
It's so good. It's so good. This is a great record. Gotta get it. And again, you gotta get it. There is so much live original music. I mean, you yourself, all you know, must be amazed at like it's a bit frustrating because you realize, wow, there's so many people if you think the pool's this big, but I think the pool's a lot bigger. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of great original music out there, isn't there?
Oh, I love going to see
Yeah. Inspired when I walk into, I can't tell, you know, and people, you quite often you wait till you're in a good mood to go out to see music, and that's not the point. You go out when you're not in a good mood to see music, and at the end of the night you're in a good mood because that's what the music does to you. It's past you and your petty, what is my problem? Just go out and soothe it with music, and it's not petty, but I'm telling you, music is a real important part. I don't want to be there, but I've done it so many times myself, where I just think, you know, I'm tired, I'm cynical, I'm sarcastic, I don't care, and every time I go out, I get thrilled, and every Wednesday I get thrilled when people come in and they share their stories. You know, and they share their music.
Yeah.
You know, it's really sustaining for me to do this show every week, and there's been a lot of times I didn't feel like doing it, and this not being one of them, but I always feel better at the end of the night than I do at the beginning of the night. You're going to do another live one for us now. What is next in store for us?
Oh, what is next in store is Let's Get Married in Vegas.
All right. And this is husband number 3?
This is husband number 1.
All right.
Yeah. He's number 1.
He's number 1.
He's actually the president of the Sound of Music in Burlington.
Sweet.
Yeah. He never gets me a gig, though.
Yeah, I know. Some kind of.
And we did get married in Las Vegas. And, yeah, I think it just plays out how it went. Yeah.
And for those of you who think that people like just write songs about like things that they think people would be interested in, they're real life stories, you know. And here's another one right here, right now at barbershoppodcast.com.
Let's get married in Vegas, 'cause I know just a place, a little chapel on the 4th floor of the Imperial Palais. And you'll meet Reverend Rudy, and we'll have a grand old time. You put a ring on my finger, and you can kiss the bride. $99 get you chapel time and a 24-rose bouquet. They give you a video copy of the ceremony. Never have been lucky in love, 'cause I can't get enough. And I've been down for so long, well, this might change my luck. And I'll wear something borrowed, something old and blue and new. And baby, this time I promise, cross my heart, I will stay true. So let's get married in Vegas, 'cause I know just a place, a little chapel on the 4th floor of the Imperial Palais. And you'll meet Reverend Rudy, and we'll have a grand old time. You put a ring on my finger, and you can kiss the bride. You'll put a ring on my finger, and you can kiss the bride.
Love it. Love it. A great musical journey, right? You know, from beginning to the end, writing a song about something that really happened. It's nice to have that little touchstone that kind of gets set in the foundation of a building somewhere.
And you never know, it may happen again.
It may happen again. I love it. But you have to have that kind of vibrancy and optimism when it comes to music. You can't go in with a wrist slitter, and you can't go in with a defeatist attitude if you're going to make any kind of record or any kind of attempt to inspire other musicians to play with you and go somewhere and do something.
It's true. It's true. I try to remain positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. In spite of it all.
A sense of humor goes a long way, right? It really does.
Yeah.
You know, because it's serious. Take what you do serious. Don't take it yourself too serious. It's a little balance, a little line.
That's for
there.
sure. And boy, I mean, this room just it shows how many nice people there are out there that you meet along the way.
It's true.
Wow.
And people will buy into what you're doing if you're buying into what you're doing. That's the main thing. Don't wait for someone else to be the wind in your sails. You go ahead and do that, you know, and people will, you know, if it's full of hot air, it'll run its course, right? But if it's got staying power, it's self-evident, you know. And I think that says something for when we've all been musicians in our 20s and love the vitality in that, but it shouldn't. You know, someone who are you artistically inclined anywhere else? Do you like to paint? Do you like to landscape? Like, what's your other kind of passions that way?
Yeah, I like to write and paint and all those good, lovely things. I love colors and shiny things.
People have affinity for
Husbands,
that. Birds of a
and
feather.
diamond rings. I have been lucky with the ex-husbands, you know, I mean, that's the band name, but I think some of them have been on here. I had Dave Nikoloff as an ex-husband and Dwayne Rudder. Yeah. And boy, I mean, I've been so lucky really to have so many great musicians and good people.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And it can be, and the great thing is I'm in the middle of all of it, right? Because everyone's got a beef with somebody. And I'm like, well, this is the UN here, right? You can't, it's probably a bad example now, but yeah, Sweden. You come in here and it's like, I know that this and this, but I'm not taking your side, I'm not taking their side. And it works, right? It's like we all are attracted and for the same kind of reasons, for the same kind of people. Passion. That's why we do what we do. We believe in what we do, and hopefully you do too. All right, going to give a shout out. Other non-scripted. Let's see, commercial. We're going to give a shout out to Heather over at Taxes Done Right. That's right. Going to throw that out for left field. Boom, boom, boom. Because you got your taxes done. You do that in May, maybe April. Some people do it right January, February, right away. You know, and here we are. We're like creeping through October. You still haven't done your taxes right. You're thinking, oh man, do them. Or, you know, click on this thing, go to Heather at Taxes Done Right. She's got lots and lots of clients who are even worse than you, trust me. And she takes care of business. And so far, no one's gone to jail. That's all I can say about that. Everyone wins with Taxes Done Right. If you've got a business and you've got your bills to pay and you've got your money to collect, she can do that too. Not saying she's a thug, but I'm saying at the end of the day, the cycle continues. Taxes Done Right. Good people. We love them here at Barbershop Podcast. We're playing live music. We're playing recorded music. We're flying through this evening. What are we going to do now? We're going to do one time, or no, we're going to do down the yaw line?
Quarter line.
The quarter line. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, because there's always one thing with Gary with his doctorish writing where it's like what is that? And of course it's obvious now. Down the quarter line. Now what is a quarter line?
Oh, they're everywhere out in the country.
Yeah. So I mean, for the uninitiated.
Just out in
field
rural,
markers.
Yeah.
Road
well,
markers?
I mean it's called the quarter line.
Right.
And you know, there'll be like Charlottesville Road quarter line, or I think they're up north too. I think they're everywhere. Yeah.
That's how you divide a county.
Yes, exactly. So there's like 4 of those per county. One would
like
think.
that. Yeah.
One would think mathematically.
Yeah.
So if you're, and then they have that with the 8 Mile
unless you're a
Road and everything in
genius, you can
Detroit,
figure
the
it.
same sort of thing.
Yeah.
And in here in the peninsula, you know, they got the 12 Mile Creek and the 14 Mile Creek, and these were all, you know, early geographical references for people, you know, rural. Everyone was rural in the day, right?
Absolutely.
What's kind of soaked from this song that earned it that kind of?
Yeah, more driving around in the middle of the night to kiss. Pretty much. I don't know. Living rurally is a whole
good.
different thing.
Works good for me. Right here, right now, barbershoppodcast.com.
You've been chewing down the highway, been gone so long. I can't remember when I seen you last. I guess I got it wrong. I thought it mattered that you loved me. I don't know why you let it go. When I'm looking into your eyes, I'm always one more, no turning back. Can't stop me now. A falling star across the sky. With every chance I take, all the back road miles, and I will jimmy the lock open in the middle of the night. To whisper dirty secrets and goodbyes down the quarter line. I took a trip into the city, tried to forget that I love you. I put a ribbon in my hair, went looking for somebody new. Fast talking on the corner, a little scuffle in the street. They took my phone, my last dollar, man, this ain't the place for me. No turning back, can't stop me now. A falling star across the sky. With every chance I take, all the back road miles, and I will jimmy the lock open in the middle of the night. Whisper dirty secrets and goodbyes down the quarter line. To hear some honky tonk down at the old dance hall, and I've been practicing my two-step when they play your favorite song. 'Cause I can hear your engine rumbling, and I know when you're passing through. So when you need a little country, I'll be the gal for you. No turning back, can't stop me now. A falling star across the sky. With every chance I take, all them back road miles, and I will jimmy the lock open in the middle of the night. Whisper dirty secrets and goodbyes down the quarter line.
It's just a painfully slow fade, Gary. What the fuck? Go hard or go home. BarbershopPodcast.com. Love it. All right. By the way, every week we put out a live streaming show, and that show will contain real live original music. Live music. Real people telling real stories. This is not anything that has to be duplicated in any kind of hermetically sealed environment. We do it right here. They roll in. The boys have a couple 2 hours. You know, we do our best. Put together an inkling as you sit at home in your comfort going, man, what are we going to do tonight on Thursday night? What's on at the movies? Well, let's go out and grab a pint and something to eat and catch some live music. If anyone hasn't done that and they enjoy the show, like, that's the next step. Go out, support the club, because the club usually has an owner who loves music, and that's why he has music in his club. And he needs you to go in and say, thank you for having music in the club. I came tonight because you had music in the club. Continue to have music in the club, and you will continue to have me as a patron. That's what we need. We need everyone to share what we love, and we need to be an enthusiastic supporter of live music. Drag your neighbor down with you. If you're a fan, you go on Tuesday night, you go on Thursday night, you go here and you catch that band. Bring someone new with you every month. Make that a goal. All right. Judi Rideout is here. Going to do some more live music. What we're talking about. What is the next live song you're going to do for us?
Next live song is called Western Star. And I think I was mentioning I was married to someone who was a truck driver / musician. And that means as a wife, you are home alone a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, if you so choose to be.
Yeah, and the rest,
especially if you don't have a car.
And Western Star.
And you live out in the country.
Yeah, Western Star's brand of truck.
Yeah.
And it's also the name of the song.
Out on Barton and Parkdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a hub. More ways than one. Judi Rideout and the ex-husband right here. BarbershopPodcast.com.
All I do is wonder where you are. You drive a lonely highway in a Western Star. Clean the windshield, check the tires, drink the coffee, log the miles. I'm stuck on the losing side of these truck driving blues. I'm stuck on the losing side of these truck driving blues. Shifting gears in the dark. I close my eyes and wish on a Western Star. I know I should stop wasting time. You're rolling down Highway 99, and I'm stuck on the losing side of these truck driving blues. I'm stuck on the losing side of these truck driving blues. I do is wonder where you are. We drive a lonely highway in a western star. Clean the windshield, check the tires, drink the coffee, log the miles. I'm stuck on the losing side of these truck driving blues. I'm stuck on the losing side of these truck driving blues.
I guarantee you that's going to be a Barber's Cuts for sure. Killer tune. You can check out, I think there's like 26 or I don't know, a lot of just one magic tune out of the hundreds that have been here at Barbershop Podcast, creeping up on 4 years of giving you the very best in live original music. So glad to have Judi Rideout in with a smoking group of players. As we go on to the next tune, I want to ask kind of a pivotal question. It's kind of a gut check question on music, on what makes a song great and what makes a song shit. And you don't have to say one of each. You can say either or. I'm going to start with you, DeRosa, because you're just dying. Like, what makes a song great or what makes a song shitty? Like,
well,
what
it catches you. You get a feeling, right? You don't have words for it. It just, hey, I want to hear more of that.
Yeah.
So, and then if there's 3 chords to the song, you hear more of it in different keys, and then you learn how to
weave it.
Weave it, and next thing you know, you're a songwriter, and because you learn stuff, and you just tack it together and put words on it, and you play it until you like it, and then when you like it, then you let other people hear it.
Yeah, because you're probably the worst critic. So if you like it, you got to figure that's made it past the 90 percentile anyway. And we should be more gentle with ourselves as songwriters. Because we've all got great friends who will tell us if something's shitty, right? It's a great thing about having a great friend. It's like, you know what, Kev, that one kind of sucks, right? It's like, all right, I appreciate that.
Yeah, well,
what about you, Mark?
That, yeah.
You gotta up like a praise, or you gotta like, what is it? What makes a song great, or what makes a song shitty?
It's like,
yeah.
you feel it there, you feel it everywhere.
Yeah. And again, for you, like. I don't want everyone to say the same answer because you feel it, because you've also wrote things where you like relationships. Like, I really thought this was had a lot of potential, and I worked it, and now I just go, it's not great, but it's not what it should have been. It's not what it could have been. And it just goes, right? So
for me, it's something about the truth too, if it sounds true to me, there's something, when it sounds false, that's when I, you know, if you're saying it sounds good or it sounds shit,
Yeah.
you know, oftentimes I think if
Is
it's
it believable?
untruthful, yeah.
Is it believable?
Yeah.
And that's what I put it down to, because early on you think, well, I've got it pretty well figured out. It's dexterity, it's flash, it's this, and then something catches you where the voice is sour and the guitar isn't spectacular, and but the song still grips you, and you have to kind of ask yourself why. And to me, I always thought it's that believability where it's like a comic. You know, like a good-looking comic will never do well, right? You have to be chubby, or you have to be bald, or you have to be someone who the people will believe this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think the same thing with a songwriter who bears their soul and goes for it and says, you know what, I'm less worried about the people who are going to, you know, write me off because it's too real than the people that go, thank you. That connected on a real level. Now off to you, Justine. What is your? Do you say yes? I think that what they said was good.
I think what they said was good. For me, like personally, if something's got a good groove, that's what I care about. But that's because I'm not a songwriter, and not to say that the words aren't important, and they are. And it's the same thing. If I can relate to the story, then that makes the song extra special for me. But for me, it's the groove.
And I've said that too, because and I've said it on this show, no one's interested in reading your diary, and until you make their butt move, they won't listen to it again. And then now they've got some of the words in. Now they got a few more of the words in. People do not get the context of a song, even the most beautifully spoken out song, the first time through. They have to listen to it. They have to absorb it, and it starts with a groove. And I agree. And Tom, you've seen both sides of this argument as a wordsmith and as a groove meister, like
what Justine said.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a songwriter, and a good song to me is something that just flows. It's a groove. It's a feel.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And I think that's why it's the greatest of arts. It's a combination of all of the arts. Music is a beautiful thing. It makes you feel, even if your eyes are closed, your heart can't be. I believe it. All right, what are we going to do now? We're going to do one off the CD, right? Because we did a live one. We're going to do Hillbilly Blues, which you got to love, right? I'm not even going to ask you what that one's about, right? She's been married to Nickoloff and Rudder. Hillbilly Blues right here on barbershoppodcast.com.
I know you were raised in the city. You knock on my door looking for pity. With your 18-wheeler truck and your new gold tooth, you're giving me those hillbilly blues. March you right down to the county court. For the last 2 years you underpaid your child support. The judge didn't take too kindly and you were ordered to pay more, because you had shacked up with a small town whore. I know you were raised in the city. You knock on my door looking for pity. With a tattoo on your arm and your cowboy boots, you're giving me those hillbilly blues. knock on my door looking for pity. With your pickup truck and your long hair hanging loose, you're giving me those hillbilly blues. I know that my new friend, he used to live with your new wife. That don't mean we got to lead this a hillbilly life of misery and poverty. All this shouting back and forth. Why can't you do right and give me my divorce? Why can't you do right and give me my divorce? Why can't you do right and give me my divorce?
Ryan Cannon, I had a great time tonight. Did you have a great time tonight?
I had a wonderful time.
I know. We all had a great time tonight. Gary, I know you had a great time. You didn't stop smiling. You got all geeked out with Mark Foley talking about shit on the stairs in that geek world, you know, whatever. It's good having you folks come every week and make the thing sound so good, look so good. I want to thank all of you for coming in. For the Hamilton and surrounding area music scene, I want to thank Tom Wells, Justine Fisher. I want to thank Sam DeRosa. I want to thank Mark Foley. And I want to thank you, Judi Rideout, for bringing this crew in tonight and doing such a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
All I know is we are booked for the next few weeks, bunch of weeks, going almost into December at Barbershop Podcast. Just follow us at Barbershop Podcast, and you will learn right around when we do who's on next week. And they're great. Guarantee you, they're great. Thanks for coming out. For Ryan Cannon, Gary Greenland, I'm Kevin Barber, your host of BarbershopPodcast.com. See you next week.